Look, if you're in this group, if you're listening to this, chances are you already know something isn't right. You know your adult child is struggling, right? They're overwhelmed with anxiety. Maybe they're isolating. Maybe they're addicted to something. Maybe they're stuck in avoidance, fear, gaming, marijuana, pornography, drinking, sleeping all day, shutting down, or they're just drifting through life without any direction. Point is, you know they're not doing well. And as a parent, that is painful to watch. But then comes the bigger question, right? What do I do? How do I help? What do I do as a parent? Do you jump in and try to fix things? You've probably tried that, right? Do you back off and hope that things improve on their own? You've probably tried that too. Maybe you've had serious talks. Maybe you've encouraged them. Maybe you've gotten frustrated. Maybe you've pulled back. Maybe you've helped financially. Maybe you've threatened with consequences. Maybe you've tried to be understanding. Or maybe you've tried being even tougher. At some point, many parents end up feeling like nothing works, right? I've tried all these things. And then the confusion gets even worse because everybody has an opinion on this, right? One person will say, you need to kick them out. And another person will say, no, they have anxiety. Don't push them, right? Another person will say, you're enabling. And then another person will come along and say, you need to be more compassionate, right? Don't push things. And so parents get pulled back and forth really between extremes, right? They're too harsh, then they're too soft. They're too involved, they're too distant. Honestly, most of the time, the answer is not found in those extreme approaches. But that's what we hear, right? This is absolutely what you do every time in this situation, but it's some extreme. And you're not you're not going to find it in one magical sentence, one perfect boundary, or like one exact formula that suddenly fixes everything, right? I know that a lot of those messages are out there, but there's not just this like one size fit all that's going to work, right? What's actually more important is understanding the pattern, right? Understanding what's happening inside your adult child, understanding what's happening inside of you, and understanding the dance that has slowly developed between the two of you. Right? Last week, if you watched it, last week we talked about helping versus enabling. We talked about how enabling keeps someone stuck and healthy helping moves them forward. But here's what I want you to know and understand tonight. Most parents aren't stuck because they don't care. They're stuck because they're scared, right? They're scared of making the wrong move. They're scared that if they push too hard, their child will shut down even further. They're scared of anxiety or depression and that it'll get worse. They're scared that their child won't be able to handle life. They're scared of damaging the relationship. Some are scared of estrangement. Some are scared their child will spiral even further into addiction or isolation. And because of all of that fear, parents often start swinging back and forth emotionally. Right? Think about it. Right? We've all been there. One minute they're rescuing, the next minute they're frustrated. One minute the parent is they're over accommodating, and then the next minute they're emotionally exhausted and ready to explode. One minute they're trying to stay calm and be understanding, and then the next minute they panic because nothing is changing. It creates this pendulum, right? And many families stay trapped in that pendulum effect for years. Not because they're bad parents, not because their child is hopeless, but because nobody fully understands the pattern that is driving the cycle. And this is really important, right? Real change usually doesn't come from one dramatic moment, right? Not lasting change anyway. It comes from slowly changing the pattern, right? Being able to understand the pattern and then changing the pattern by learning how to stay connected without rescuing, learning how to encourage growth without controlling, learning how to understand anxiety without allowing anxiety to completely run the house, learning how to stop reacting out of panic and start responding with more clarity and steadiness. This is hard to do, right? That stuff is hard to do because when you love your child deeply, uh, it's hard to see through the emotion, right? It's hard to see them struggle. It's hard to deal with the thought that you, as a parent, might be making the wrong choice, right? Um, so parents start to feel trapped. So if you feel trapped tonight, right? You're stuck, you're trapped, you don't know what to do, you don't know which way is right, which way is forward. If you are feeling trapped tonight, I want you to know something. Feeling trapped does not mean there is no hope. Usually, it means that you've been trying to solve a very, very deep emotional and relational problem while carrying fear, exhaustion, confusion, pain, right? And honestly, that's exactly why we're having these conversations. You are not alone in this, and real change is possible, right? But you got to start understanding what is really happening. What is really happening in your young adult child? What is happening inside of you? How this pattern happens, right? And that's what this group is about. You know, we're learning about how to truly be helping, right? Helping with healthy boundaries and not getting into those enabling traps. How to deal with your fears and your concerns about your child and what's going on. How to be able to let go of uh, needing to control the outcome, right? Being able to trust the process, right? That these are not easy things and you need support. So that's why I'm glad you are in this group. If you are ready to take the next step, I encourage you to join that email list. I put it in the link, right? And tell other people about the email list. That's where the upcoming trainings that dive deeper into these steps happen. And of course, keep staying engaged with this group, right? We're going to stick together in this. We're going to learn, and as we're getting more insight, more sharing, right? We're going to hear. You're going to hear that you're not alone, right? And so I encourage you also the things, the not only your struggles but also the successes, the movement that's happened that's been good. Share that, right? Just like you want to hear it, other people want to hear what has worked for you, where are you struggling. We're not alone in this. So that is the encouragement that I wanted to leave you with tonight. That there is a path forward, right? It's complex, right? It takes some time, but you can understand it. And we're going to be doing some trainings really soon where we're going to dig deep. So that's why I want you on that email list because that's what I'm going to talk about. In fact, I'm going to be letting you guys know here in a few days about a training that we're going to have. It's going to be a small group. It's going to be great, and I hope you can be a part of it.